That's right. Spawning in the top left corner, playing as the Red Terran for Kaizi Gaming. It is innovation.
And spawning here at the bottom right, he is the blue Protoss from Alpha X. He is ZOUN.
I like that. Innovation going for a slightly off location barracks, just so that when ZOUN sends his scouting probe across, freaks the probe out a little bit. Hey, where's your barracks?
And then innovation is going to be saying, you know, it just has an invisibility cloak. So it's there, but you don't see it.
Yeah, nothing to worry about.
And then ZOUN is like, you know what? I seen Harry Potter. I believe you.
Yeah, because that's how barracks work in this game. Yep. They also have cloak. You know, you just gotta make sure you research it before the game starts.
Yeah. And you know,
ZOUN is getting a full scout off in the main. It sees that the barracks is not in the main, so a bit of a metagame here, right? We see innovation placing the barracks on the low ground. Is ZOUN gonna scout it though? I think it is. Yep. Wow. Very nice. Very well played by by ZOUN, sniffing out that the barracks and the factory are in fact at home.
Yep, I am definitely proud of him as a fellow dog, and you know, sniffing is an activity we do. Really proud of ZOUN being able to sniff that out. But anyhow, yep, he is going to go ahead and throw down the natural here. Now, he does scout a 1-1 opening, so he's definitely want to, you know, start walling off that natural, because the possibility of Hellions, Hellion run-bys are indeed present. So you want to go ahead and wall that off, kind of maybe pluck in an Adept or a Stalker, or maybe even fully wall off. And yeah, it looks like he is going to go ahead and choose Stargate, which is not the baddest choice against Hellion openings, or even Widowmine openings.
Yep, you said it. As soon as you mentioned that the Hellions have the potential to run through into the Protoss natural, we did see 2 Hellions queued up out of the factory on the low ground for innovation. We do see another 2 queued up after the first 2 finished. So now we're just going to have to wait and see what will ZOUN pop out of his Stargate, and then how will that deal with the Hellions and the, I believe it's going to be a Hellion drop even, as we do see a medevac on the production tab.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a Hellion drop. And of course, one of the thing about this map is that the main base is quite decently large, so drops are a common play. But you know, ZOUN, he's on top of it. He knows this, and he's immediately throwing the spotter pylon out on the outskirts of his base to make sure he spots that in time to defend.
Pretty much perfect Adept placement. So you mentioned that it would be in ZOUN's best interest to finish his natural wall. Apparently he disagreed and said, hey, 3 Adepts in a gateway, that's enough. Now 4. But yeah, we're going to have to wait and see how this Hellion drop does do, as the medevac has not indeed been spotted yet.
Alright, Hellion drops are on the way. The pylon does finally scout it.
Okay, probes are immediately pulled off the line. 2 Hellions, I'm sorry, 4 probes going down immediately. 6 probes, okay, so these Hellions are actually getting substantial damage. Now 3 of the Hellions have died. Last one is going to get picked up and picked off, as the medevac just barely will not get out of there. Nope, does not have boost. So Phoenixes, you know, they are the right call, but 7 probes did still go down, and that is, you know, that's a decent amount of damage.
Yeah, the issue was that ZOUN didn't build a shield battery in the main base. So, you know, the idea is that, yeah, you can lift up the Hellions with the Phoenixes, but you're not going to have enough Phoenixes to lift up all 4 Hellions. So if you can make a shield battery there, you don't have to run your probes. You don't have to be scared that they'll be sniped down, because the shield battery will heal them. And so, yeah, that was the one mistake that ZOUN, you know, had, was that he did not make a shield battery in the main base. So he will suffer 7 probe losses because of that. But yet, you know, because this was a committed attack by or harassed by innovation, and ZOUN went for the early second base, he's still going to be decently ahead in the work count.
Yeah, I was not expecting ZOUN to be ahead by about 10 workers, but I guess he is. Now, these Phoenixes are going to come in here. They're going to dip real quick as they do see that Cyclone coming out, locking on. And Cyclones, they have unlimited range, basically, so you know how it goes.
Yep. So, so far, ZOUN not able to find any damage. Does at least get a good scout, see what's up, see what's kind of, the army composition of Innovation. And actually, this move out by Innovation is going to line up really well with the stem. And so let's see what the ZOUN has to defend. He has a couple of adepts. The Phoenixes are actually across the map. This might actually get a little bit scary here for our blue Protoss.
Yeah, I'm definitely agreeing with you on this one because these two Cyclones, that long line of Marines, that can definitely do a lot of damage as Stim is just about to finish. Innovation hitting with pretty much a perfect Stim timing, and we're going to have to wait and see how ZOUN defends this. Pops the, I forget what it's called, the sentries, not force field, but the protective, I'm going to call it a bubble for now, along with the
Guardian Shield, yeah.
There we go, thank you, Guardian Shield. Guardian Bubble! I'm gonna dub it that from now on. Was actually enough to ward away the Marine Army for now. The Phoenixes did come all the way across the map, but at this point they've run a marathon and a half. They've been all across the map. They will delay Innovation's third command center on site, so that is pretty good. Pick off some reinforcements as well, but I do like this from Innovation a lot. We do see a triple drop going into the main, and this is going to be really rough to deal with.
Oh, ZOUN does recall his Phoenixes just in the nick of time to help defend against this, but his dirt is actually being attacked at the same time, so ZOUN got to choose where to defend. His best bet is just to defend the main here, it seems.
Yeah, and gets a cancel on the Nexus. Innovation definitely happy with how this engagement has gone so far. That first Colossus did pop out. It's not able to deal the damage just yet, a little bit awkward, a little bit slow to get to the fight, but finally, will the Protoss be able to ward off the Marines? It looks like they will, but Innovation has actually not... Oh wow, that's actually huge. Innovation's command center on site at the third has not continued production because an SCV was picked off, and no SCV was sent to continue building it. Still no SCV is being rallied to that third, so that's actually going to hurt Innovation quite a bit in the long run as he is not able to get his third command center up.
Yeah, and that's being reflected by the income graph here. It's kind of all blue right now. Now ZOUN's not like way ahead because he did get, of course, his his own third base canceled. But like you said, the third base of Innovation does get delayed as he did forget to send the SCV there. So all in all, it's still anyone's game, I feel like. It's really going to come down to the I think to the engagements here. There's one Colossus very vulnerable, so can he snipe it? Not quite enough in Marauders though. Oh my god, as this fight was happening, the Widow Mind Drop getting 13 probes there. Incredible play by Innovation.
Something as simple as a two-pronged, there's a reason why we see it so commonly at the pro level. Two-pronged, any sort of two-pronged is very, very powerful. 13 probes did go down. Obviously, the main engagement, not quite the most important thing happening on the map. This is definitely going to affect ZOUN in the long run, as actually, Innovation is just going to rally across the map with more Widow Mines and more bio.
Well, he's definitely going to need to do something for at least ZOUN on ZOUN's part, because this aggression by Innovation is still upcoming, or ongoing rather, and he cannot suffer any more damage. I mean, he's already suffered a lot of probe losses. Oof.
Not looking good at all. Observer finally pops out, so after the Widow Mines have already fired their shots, ZOUN will be able to take care of them. Bio does pounce forward just a little bit, not quite able to get the damage on those high-value targets, such as the Immortals, plural, I'm sorry, and the Colossus. So a little bit of an awkward position, as we do see there are more medevacs than there is bio on the field, but that just means that Oh, very nice. Good positioning by ZOUN. I was just about to say that Innovation could go for a drop, but ZOUN wards it away with a Photon Cannon and an Archon in position already.
Yeah, right now ZOUN is kind of playing very, very defensively, and he has to, because again, he is just doesn't quite have the army supply to scare Innovation. So I love what Innovation is doing. He's keeping up with the pressure. He's kind of dictating the pace. He's the one with the map vision, right? Basically, got the maps, contained, and he's splitting his army forces, making sure he does not just fight in this one big ball versus a one big ball, because that's the one way that ZOUN can kind of turn this game around. Because ZOUN does have a lot of Colossus. He does have the Archons as well, the shield battery and the cannons. So if he can kind of split off the attacks and do multi-prong attacks and kind of dwindle the Protoss army, then he can possibly set up a checkmate.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you can see just from the supplies alone how far behind ZOUN is. He's been getting his army shaved off constantly. He's been getting his eco sort of hammered repeatedly, and Innovation sort of treating this like a bit of a slower Terran versus Zerg, if you will, right? Like you mentioned earlier, you have the two-pronged harass, you have the two-pronged attack even, and Innovation actually so far ahead, his fourth is about to complete on site before ZOUN has even thought about taking another Nexus.
Alright, it's important to note that ZOUN is getting disruptors, and that is one of the ways in which he can kind of even it out, because Innovation is ahead in the army supply, but if he can get some nice disruptor hits, that kind of changes the momentum in the story. So let's see if ZOUN can get some nice decent hits, or if Innovation can kind of split against them and pick them off.
A very cute sort of Zealot run by. Only one Zealot left so far, taking down a couple of SCVs before being shot at by the Marines. Disruptors do go out, and Disruptors actually will be able to take care of the Widow Mines in addition to just general bio. But we do see Ghost out on the... When did Ghost get out? I'm so surprised. But this could be the beginning of the end, right? Because the Protoss does have a win condition. They max out, they hold on until they can max out, and they finally take one good fight against the Terran. But when you get spellcasters on the field, such as Ghost, such as High Templar, or, Disruptors, if you can consider them spellcasters, the game changes completely and it becomes a battle of micro. So we're going to have to wait and see when if Innovation decides to pull the trigger on this aggression, how will both players deal with it, as Innovation does actually max out right now. Now we do see 11 SCVs going down, a huge, I believe, a Zealot run by.
Yep, the charge lot run by did get some nice SCV kills, but the important thing is the fight here at the 6 o'clock base. Alright, here we go.
So both of Innovation's armies did actually group up together. A decent EMP getting the cancel on the 4th as the Vikings take care of the Colossi. All of the Disruptors, I believe, have used up their Novas, so a little bit preemptive on the part of ZOUN, as we do see a quad drop. I love it. Going down, I believe, to the main. Now, is it going to get caught by this Protoss army? I'm not too sure. Oh, man. The Vikings just sort of chasing super far ahead, going in deep for that Colossus, actually able to get it before being picked off themselves. Now, this quad drop in the main, this triple drop in the main is going to start dealing its damage. A warp in is being forced in at the main. The main engagement has sort of dwindled down, but Innovation, he's kind of going in for it, so the triple drop is going to find more damage at the 3rd as well. Not for long.
Yeah, Innovation got to be careful, because there are still Phoenixes here out for ZOUN, so you got to keep in mind that if he's going to drop, there is a good chance that he might just lose all of his medevacs here. Unfortunately for ZOUN, he's not chasing them with the Phoenixes. These are some really lazy Phoenixes. They really deserve a dock on their pay and salary. But Innovation still keeping up with the pressure, still kind of sending out his reinforcement towards the middle of the map. But ZOUN also looking to possibly go for an attack of his own.
Yeah, now this is a really interesting sort of scenario in the game, because we do see that both players are actually even on supply. ZOUN has caught up. He traded just efficiently enough in those last engagements to to sort of catch up in supply. Huge EMPs going off on the Immortals in front. Now, oh my gosh, now the Bio is being chased. More EMPs going down. The Archons are actually still holding, but so far, it looks like another Doom drop. I mean, you know, it didn't really work the first few times, but I guess it's gonna work now as we do see a small recall. We do see shield battery overcharge being popped, but so far ZOUN has not lost as much as I believe he should have or could have, right? We only see 5 probes going down, which at this stage in the game is not too much.
Yeah, I feel like Innovation is like slowly kind of letting ZOUN get back into this game. I mean, he certainly let ZOUN build up to the very scary Protoss ball with Mass Disruptor. In the head-to-head fight, that's going to be very difficult to overcome, but looks like Innovation is going to attempt to do so.
Now that disruptor hit did not, oh my gosh, that second disruptor hit. So what just happened now was that the ghost in Innovation's southwest side, oh my god, more ghosts going down as the Bio just, oh no, not like this. Innovation. We do see Liberators being set up, but these disruptor hits just keep on finding poor units that really damage the Terran with their losses. Now more EMPs do go down, but now we have Colossi. We have basically a limitless supply, it seems, of Disruptor Novas. And like you said, Innovation is just sort of letting his own army get dwindled down, right? He's not whittling down ZOUN anymore, he's being whittled down. And it looks like it might be enough for ZOUN to go for an immediate counterattack.
Yeah, he is ready to pounce onto this base here. And Innovation frantically trying to buy himself some time, kind of poking in and out. But there's still a lot of disruptors, and here we go. A nice little concave though, trying to split up, but there's just too much disruptors for Innovation to handle. Oh my goodness.
Oh man, so Snoopy, it looks like a 3-base Protoss can in fact beat a 4-base Terran. Oh my gosh. The disruptors coming in clutch, right? Like you said yourself, Snoopy, they really were the one Hail Mary mechanic for ZOUN, and they definitely worked here. They took down Ghost after Ghost, right? That being the only real sort of late game army unit that the Terran can use that is effective against all of the Protoss army. But now we do see this final sort of engagement going in. I honestly don't think Innovation has it in him anymore. We do see the Stalkers picking off Viking after Viking. Some disruptor hits going up, but that Colossus is dealing consistent damage. Oh my gosh, another Ghost is being shaved off by that disruptor hit, as we do see 9 SCVs go down. Innovation's economy is gutted, his army is gutted. Yeah, this is definitely the beginning of the end.
It certainly does. 14 SCVs going down during that attack, and ZOUN feeling comfortable to just probably retreat here. And oh, actually, he's just going to find this base, unfortunately for Innovation.
Okay, that Colossus sort of stared menacingly from a distance at those SCVs, but now, okay, re-engagement by Innovation's Bio. A sizable amount of Vikings do actually take out the last, take out the last Colossus, so now ZOUN is sort of on the run. A lot of Marauders do get shaved off, Vikings are landed, and yeah, this is definitely more of a desperation move than anything else. Wow, ZOUN even pulling back the charge last second, just to make sure that they don't take friendly damage. Oh, these disruptors. Wow.
I'm just hearing a lot of yells from Marauders and Marines on the sound effects.
This ain't it, you know, like when you... Yes, you do expect to lose some units with every disruption shot, but what you cannot afford to lose are those Ghosts. And every single time, I don't think I've seen a single Nova where it had the quote-unquote choice, you know, between regular Bio and Ghosts. But every single time, it's gone for the Ghost and it's hit successfully. Just Innovation being whittled down too much. Probably a victim of his own early aggression, right? He sort of got into that mindset, as I'm sure every StarCraft player can relate to, where you just want to go for the kill. You just want to keep on going and going and going, and it just does not work out after a while. Now, Innovation does have a sizable army here coming to the 4th location for the Protoss, but I honestly don't think it's going to do much.
Oh, yeah. He's trying to focus fire on all these disruptors, but he still has no answer for these Colossus, these Archons. And he is going to be once again forced back here as ZOUN starting to kind of take over the map here. Is expanding towards the, I guess, 3 o'clock or so position. And now he is going to go for that counter attack. Now, the one thing I do like, because you know, Innovation was making a lot of ghosts, but I kind of felt like the ghost was kind of useless as ZOUN was going for disruptors and Colossus, and I don't think ghost really does too much against that. I really wanted to see him go for Liberators. He's starting to go for Liberators, but I think it's a little too late.
Yeah, like you said, just a little bit too late, right? You saw those Liberators unsiege, and the moment that they unsieged, ZOUN pounced forward with the Stalkers, taking down one immediately. And like you said, these ghosts, sure, EMPs are great, but you're facing Disruptors, you're not facing High Templar that depend on energy. And all of these low health Stalkers, oh man, just one siege tank hit, would you imagine, right? But these four Colossi definitely dealing their damage, and it's not looking too good for Innovation. It hasn't been looking good for a while, but there we go. GG is called. ZOUN takes this game.
We're now in game number 2 here. Let's see if Innovation can tie up the series. TeaDragon, why don't you go ahead and introduce our first player here on the bottom left.
That's right. Here in the bottom left corner of the map, playing for Kaizi Gaming as the Red Terran player, it is Innovation himself.
And spawning here at the top right, we have the blue Protoss player from your team of Alpha X. Looking to close out the series 2-0, it is ZOUN.
And whenever I think of match point, it doesn't matter if I'm playing, it doesn't matter how long the series is, but just hearing match point, that is just so intimidating to me, you know? Like, there's immediately already so much more on the line than if it were a regular game where both players still had a shot after this game.
Yeah, I mean, and you know, on top of that, best of 3 series, not a lot of chances, you know, to make up any deficit loss. So it's now or never. I mean, Innovation literally has to win this next game in order to keep his hopes alive, and also keeps the hopes alive of all the people in the Twitch chat that voted and predicted the Innovation with a 78% prediction to only 22% of ZOUN. So ZOUN is in place right now to upset a lot of people, but we shall see how this game here on Oxide goes.
Yep, that's right. So we do see Innovation going for that Reaper Expand opening. We're going to have to wait for the Cyber to finish to see what ZOUN decides to go for. Now, will it be Stargate? Will it be Twilight? My money's on Stargate. Why not?
Well, you know,
no, I take that back.
What happened?
The Cyber started Warp Gate, so I believe you want to get the Stargate, or yeah, you do want to get the Stargate before Warp Gate.
No, I think, you know, maybe in the PVZ, you know, that's more common, but in PVZ, or not, sorry, PVT, you do want to open up with the Adept first because of the Reaper is going to arrive at your base, so you at least want the Adept to kind of defend against the Reaper there. But he is following up with a Stalker, which kind of signals to me he might want to go for Twilight. But yeah, it looks like he is going to go for Twilight and go for the Blink Stalker pathway instead.
You're right. ZOUN not feeling too good about losing 2 whole probes to that first Reaper. I don't think the Adept... Yeah, the Adept was actually shading across the map, leaving only the Stalker and those poor probes left to defend against that Reaper. So a bit of a nice little opening by our Red Terran so far.
Yeah, and looks like... Okay, I think he... Wait, did Innovation scout the Twilight? Oh, actually did not. I thought he did, but looks like the Reaper was killed before even scouting the Twilight Council. So right now, Innovation kind of in the dark here. But I think with the Stalker opening, he might be having an inkling that it might be... Yep, now he does confirm it. It is going to be Twilight. And he does also confirm that it's researching at the moment. So it's not going to be DTs or anything. Well, that is definitely a potential follow-up. But usually when the Protoss open up with Blink, they just want to stick with the Blink Stalker for the time being. And then maybe add in the Dark Shrine later in the game.
Yeah, DT follow-ups are always a risk for anybody who's playing against a Protoss. I know that a lot of my Zerg and Terran colleagues would probably say that, DTs, they can come anytime, so if you're not ready, 10 minutes into the game, they can definitely screw you over. Now, sure, DTs are fun and all, but just watch the pros, right? They always seem to find a way to either lose terribly or fend it off perfectly. Definitely no in-betweens,
Yep, that sounds about right.
So here we do see the first two Widow Mines coming in. Now that is a good number of Stalkers. Oh man, that Widow Mine looked like it was about to go off. It actually does get 2 probes, so that probe that was sent forward did not get targeted. I believe there was possibly a little bit of, a little bit of Widow Mine micro involved there, as the first mine did get sacrificed for 2 probes.
Yeah, so nice target firing there by Innovation. And ZOUN is going to still have to kind of babysit his Stalker on this medevac, as there is one more Widow Mine there. And looks like ZOUN, very similar to the first series against Beyond, where he did go for the Templar Archive like right off the bat. And we did see how that turned out. It was a great decision by ZOUN and was able to defend against the the timing attack of Beyond. So let's see if this can work out once again here for ZOUN.
Yeah, we do see that heavy bio play from Innovation, and of course, as we all know, one good storm can definitely change the tide of an entire game. So, like you said, getting that early storm, making sure that you're already with that excellent source of splash damage for Innovation's initial push is going to be crucial.
All right, we're gonna have a little bit of a dance here between these Stalkers and these Marines. Looks like these Stalkers might want to go into the main base to harass, but Innovation is parking some units there. And we'll start moving out, and ZOUN sees this with the Observer, so right now he needs to throw down some shield batteries, get some a lot of units. That you can see that throwing two shield batteries down. His storm is about to finish. Does he have any Templars out? Yes, he has 2, so very similar play against the Beyond series.
Oh wow, so the Raven actually does go down. Good storms, excellent storms going down. Oh my gosh, that is 2/3 at least of the bio immediately going down for the cost of 1 High Templar, I believe a Warp Prison, and pretty much no other units. So ZOUN definitely seeing the payoff in more than one series for that quick storm. I really like this play, honestly. It always feels like the Terran is not expecting it, like the Raven got picked off early, but the Raven was sent forward and it was not scouting to the side. And the side was where the Warp Prism was. The side was where the High Templar popped out and landed those money storms. That was amazing.
Yeah, I think he's not expecting it because it's not quite as common in the meta. It seems like ZOUN has kind of gone for this and might be reinventing the PvT meta here. And once again, kind of swarming around with that Warp Prism with the Templar. But he's got to be careful not to get sniped down. Oh, it looks like Innovation is going to drop one medevac, or not medevac, one Marine to scare that Warp Prism off. Oh, Storm getting on top of all these Widow Mines. Not quite enough to kill them, though.
A bit of an awkward engagement. Awkward not for Innovation. He likes this, right? You want to be able to hit without being shot back at, but we do see ZOUN actually losing the Cyber, so that's going to be pretty big. Not going to be able to produce anything but High Templar and Zealots for the time being. And a Warp Gate as well, so yeah, things are slowing down just a little bit, but like you said, ZOUN might have carved out a niche for himself in this meta at the moment.
Yeah, so far it's working pretty well, as he was able to hold off the timing attack. However, Innovation, being a macro king himself, is still producing units here. And some decent Widow Mine hits there.
It's so funny. You're always just sort of sitting on top of the Widow Mines waiting for your detection to come out. Now, we do see another wave of Bile/Widow Mines coming in to the west side, as these Widow Mines are going to get some connections, not the best at all, as ZOUN does split off with excellent micro of these zealots. Now, in the middle of the map, there is also another engagement where Bio has managed to pick off the rest of the Protoss, even getting an Archon in the process. So we do see the power of Innovation's double-pronged, not exactly harass, but I would call it engagements. Now, we do see another good storm landing on top of all of the Bio and even the medevacs, as his main army is actually pushing forward to the side of Innovation.
Yeah, ZOUN is kind of defending really well thus far. Hasn't really taken any significant damage from all these drop and harasses and stuff, multi-prong harasses. And ZOUN, though, he's trying to look for a counterattack, but he's got to be careful. Like, a lot of his units are actually back at home trying to defend. Wait, what?
Yeah, that was a little bit unfortunate. So we do see 10 probes actually going down. I believe that was at the... Yeah, we do see a Widowmine in the main. We did see a little bit of harass at the third for our blue Protoss as well. Yeah, costing ZOUN just a little bit. And like you said, going for that counter without your full strength army is quite risky.
Yeah, especially without the Warp Prism, because the Warp Prism not only houses the High Templars for the storm, but it is also the point of reinforcement to warp in more units. And so he wants to attack with it. Ooh, gotta be careful. This Warp Prism doesn't have speed or anything. Does not want to get sniped down.
Oh my gosh, it's a micro dance. You know, both players are constantly threatening. Oh, I love it. We see the Disruptors already out on the field. Can't believe I didn't notice them earlier. I love them.
Now, back in GSL, we did see Innovation kind of being teased with how bad his Disruptor micro is. I believe it was against Trap, and I think there was some, I guess, taunting that Innovation was not good at splitting against or taking a lot of damage against Disruptor. So it's we kind of seen that in the first game, right? Let's see if he can kind of gather himself and do better against Disruptors.
So I like the way that ZOUN's playing this game in theory, right? He's got Disruptors, he's being very... Ooh, actually he gets a full Widowmine field with one Disruptor hit, but obviously that leaves the rest of his army open. Can he get... Oh, just barely did not get the Disruptor hit. Now, is ZOUN going to be able to push back the Bio? It looks like he will be able to with a pretty good storm, but obviously you've got a lot of medevacs there. You've got a whole fleet, right? And so they can heal up the Bio lickety-split in no time. But that was not a good engagement. That was a very scrappy engagement, I would have to say. I was just about to say that ZOUN, he's playing pretty aggressively, which you don't typically see, right? You're usually on the defense as the Protoss, but that was... Yeah, I don't know if that risk was worth it. Now, we do see another engagement coming up, more Disruptors coming out. That shot just to sort of clear out the Widowmines for now, which, honestly, I think that's what Innovation is looking for, right? You want to waste, essentially, or you want to spend all of the Disruptor hit cooldowns, and then that way you can engage. But it looks like he will go home for now.
Yeah, and you know, it looks like ZOUN is wanna start committing into these Colossus, getting the Thermal Lance, getting 2 more. Usually, you know, against Terran, you want to stick with about 3 or 4. That's a good number to stay. Oh, as I say that, oh man, this Disruptor once again, Innovation proving to everybody right that he's just not the greatest against Disruptor play, and ZOUN taking full advantage of his weakness.
Oh man, no sir, indeed. That was not a good engagement at all. Now, Innovation making the most of that situation. Does eat a storm on the way to the third. Oh my gosh! ZOUN takes the series immediately.